What's up, beautiful people? My name is Sarah Jane, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my keto Fathead pizza. This was one of the first keto meals I ever ate, and I'd love to share with you my recipe. So the first thing you want to do is you want to melt 10 ounces of shredded mozzarella cheese in the microwave for 90 seconds at 30-second intervals. After that, you want to crack in your fresh egg and you want to mix that in all together. It's really important that you microwave the cheese fully while it's fully melted, or else your dough is going to be really uncomfortable to work with. So be sure to microwave your mozzarella cheese for 90 seconds at 30-second intervals, and be sure to fully incorporate the egg so that you don't have half-cooked egg. The next thing you want to do is add 5 ounces of almond flour into your mixture, and again, you're just going to take your spatula and you're going to mix the crap out of it just so that it becomes fully incorporated and you don't have any clumps or anything that is not blending into the dough. It's really important that all parts of the dough mix together properly, and if you are struggling or if your dough has gotten hard because you've waited too long, you can just zap the dough in the microwave for like 10 to 15 seconds and work with it again. The next thing you see me doing here is taking the dough and kneading it with my hands. This is a process that takes the longest. I spent about 3 to 4 minutes kneading the dough and just making sure that all elements, the egg, the flour, the baking powder, and the cheese were fully incorporated. I didn't want to have a mealy dough or a crusty dough or an uncomfortable to work with dough. So you definitely want to spend a little bit of time, 3 to 4 minutes, kneading the dough after it's cool enough to touch. If you would like to find the full recipe, just check the description down below. I have a full blog post there where you can find detailed instructions as well as tips for success. The next thing you want to do is take your dough and place it between 2 sheets of parchment paper, and you want to take your rolling pin and just roll it out. Now, I'm not an expert nor a perfectionist, and so I obviously couldn't roll my dough in a perfect circle. So I ripped pieces off of the dough, put it together, and rolled it out to try and get the best shape I could get to fit my pizza pan. And so as you see me doing here, I ripped off more pieces. I put the pizza pan under the dish to really try and form the crust nicely. But you know, I'm not a professional, but I did try my best. And what you'll next see me doing is removing the pan and rolling it out again, just to get a more uniform shape of the crust and the dough. And that's super important to me. It might not be important to you, but I did want to make sure I had a crust and it wasn't just a flat bread type of pizza, because I wanted to be able to hold the pizza and eat it. And as you can see, it gets much better. So what I do is I actually throw this crust on a pizza pan in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes until it is cooked, and then I start putting my tomato sauce on it. Now, I don't buy a super expensive low-carb tomato sauce to make my pizza. I buy whatever's on the shelf. This has 7 net carbs for half a cup, and so I just use that to spread that on my pizza. And then what you see me doing here is putting a little bit of mozzarella cheese as a base, and then putting on my pepperoni. Now, you can put on whatever toppings that you like onto the pizza. I use turkey pepperoni. You can use whatever you like, but you want to make sure that you're not overloading the pizza and that you're putting on the toppings in accordance to how thick your dough is. The next thing you see me putting on here is my jerk chicken. Again, you can put whatever you want on it. Just be sure not to overload it. If you have a thin crust pizza, don't put mountains of toppings on there because it won't hold when you actually cook it through. And the last thing I put on my pizza was green peppers, and I just did this for color and for flavor. And so the next thing I did was I put this in the oven on broil for about 5 minutes after topping it with some cheese. I cooked it through, and there is my keto Fathead pizza. It was really delicious, super simple to make, and it was definitely carb lover approved. My brother and sister chowed this down. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out my keto Fathead pizza recipe. This has been your friend SJ, and I'm documenting the process.